Okay, fam. It is time to talk about NIO. It's been a while, but I've got a lot to cover in this video, so let's dive right in right now and get right to it. NIO's price target has been raised from $5 to $8 from an analyst who works for JP Morgan. NIO has also been moved from neutral to overweight. NIO delivered 57,373 vehicles in Q2, which is up 144% year over year. $2.15 billion in revenue from vehicle sales. Other sales rose to $243 million, which is 11.1% year over year increase. Gross profit $232.4 million, which is up from $12 million, just $12 million 1 year ago. Vehicle margins this quarter climbed to 12.2%, up from 6.2% just 1 year ago. That's double the margin. Gross margin this quarter was 9.7%, up from 1% just 1 year ago. This is actually quite amazing if you want to know the truth. This is a lot of growth. Research and development costs amounted to $442.9 million, which is down 3.9% from last year. That's yet again more good news. Cash and cash equivalents are $5.7 billion, and total outstanding debt is $1.59 billion, leaving NIO right at the tip of $4 billion in cash, no debt. William Lee, the CEO, projects that deliveries will be 61,000 to 63,000, the median being 62,000 vehicles delivered in Q3, which is an increase over Q2. Right now, NIO is spending about $500 million per quarter. William Lee also stated that the Envo 60 will go on sale in September. He expects 20,000 vehicle sales on launch. Look, this is all great news for NIO. I spent a lot of time analyzing NIO, studying it. I even invested in NIO, but I had to take a step back because they hit a rough time. The EV sector was also struggling. It was more of the EV struggle going on in the world, not just really NIO. NIO has proprietary power swap for their batteries, which is also another great thing about NIO. But I had to take a step back for a little while. And when you've spent as much time in the market as I have, analyzing companies and understanding technicals, fundamentals, as well as sector issues going on with other EVs, you understand where price is likely to go. And NIO's been spending a lot of time in the high 3s and low 4s, which is extremely low. I've been waiting for a recovery that will push NIO over 450 and be able to break above $5, which it has done on stellar news, nothing short of stellar. But look, if you're having trouble understanding this kind of stuff, like the technicals, fundamentals, financials, things that I'm explaining to you in this video, don't worry, it's okay. I have a full training course, Discord, and I offer one-on-one coaching to help you guys achieve your financial goals. I absolutely love to help people grow their portfolios, and I'm driven every day by offering as much help as I possibly can. But it's a very serious mentorship. So if you are looking to take control of your financial wealth and your financial freedom, I would love to help you guys. You can sign up at investorcorey.com right there on the screen. The link is also in the information box below. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, none of my students right now are down from when they joined. Everybody is up. I have some students that are up 20% over 2 months or 3 months, and I have other students that are up 30, 40, 50%, and some students are even up 200 or 300%, depending on the size of their portfolio and the trades that they made during that time. But the average for the first 2 months is 10 to 15% per month. Most students, though, are averaging about 15 to 20% per month going forward. If this sounds like something you're interested in, I would love to help you. It's a very serious mentorship, limited spots available. I look forward to meeting you and helping you on your financial journey. So looking at NIO, you guys can see that it spent a considerable amount of time below 450 from August 1st all the way until September 5th, almost 6 weeks, like 5.5 weeks it's spent down here, like really low. Although before the August 1st market pullback, it had spent the whole month of July and most of June below $5 as well, but it was a little bit higher in the 470 range. But this stock hasn't really been above $5 since the first week of June. So it's been over 2 months since NIO's done really anything. And it was May, the middle of May, where NIO was up in mid 5s. So it really hasn't done a whole lot since May. Prior to March, NIO was doing very well. NIO was spending most of its time in October, November, December of last year in the $7, $8 range, and then it dropped down here into the $6 range in January, and it's been having a rough time recovering. Once NIO can recover up and push through this area of 550 and make its way up to 630 or 650, then we've got a shot at running back up here and pushing our way into the $8 range. The issue is all the people and investors that sold in the $4.80 to $5 range, they have been buying it up. It is going to be hard to push up through into the $7 range. Anyone who sold along here, they're buying it right about now. I believe NIO is going to run to $7, maybe $8 by the time we get into the elections or just after. By the end of the year, realistically, New Year's, I could see NIO being over $8 quite easily. I think that as we get into January, February, March, in the spring, NIO is going to be between $8 and $10. This stock, if they continue to grow year over year like they're doing, in the next year or two, we could see NIO at $20. My price target on NIO is really $8 to $10 by spring, maybe a little higher. By this time next year, or the winter of next year, which is about 14 months away, my price target on NIO is about $13 to $15, depending on year-over-year growth, quarter-over-quarter growth, revenue. They have got to grow their EPS. I want to show you guys two very important key metrics on NIO, which will show you not only what it's worth now, but what it will be worth even though their EPS is negative. We can't do a PE ratio because their EPS is negative, so it'll only give us a negative PE. But there is something else we can look at, which is price to sales. Price to sales basically shows us future potential and growth, because right now NIO's only really worth about $3 to $5 in its current value. But in the market, we value companies based on future guidance, growth, and projections, and we market makers bake that premium in. Let's take the market cap and divide it. We have 8.4 billion, which is 840. And we're going to divide this by the yearly revenue. Total yearly revenue, which is the trailing 12 month, which is 8.78 billion. 878 billion. 878. There we go. And we have a price to sales of 0.95. Now, what this means is NIO has a lot of potential. A good price to sales is below 5. A great price to sales is below 2. A really exceptional price to sales is below 1. Tesla's price to sales is 7.7. Nvidia's is 27. Apple's is 8.8. Lucid Motors is over 13. Rivian is 2.76. And NIO is 0.94 or 0.95. This pretty much puts NIO at having the best growth margin possibilities of all EV companies, including Tesla. This is stellar. Based on this number, this gives NIO a lot of headroom to grow into, but they've got to become profitable and increase their EPS. Considering they have 1.92 billion shares float with a market cap of 8.4, let's go ahead and take a look at Lucid. Lucid's market cap is almost the same, but they have a lot less shares floating. Now, this means less share float means higher stock price. And since the difference in market cap is 8.4 to 8.28 is not really that far off, we have 1.92 billion versus just under 900 million. So basically almost the same market cap, but they have about half the shares float. Long story short, if Lucid had 1.92 billion shares floating, the stock price would be about half of what it is now, which is about $1.75. So if NIO had 900 million shares floating instead of 1.92 billion, then NIO would be around $10 right now. That's just based off market cap and share float. That's not an exact calculation, but it's pretty rough estimate. So really it tells you that the potential for NIO is 2 to 4 times higher than Lucid based on price to sales, market cap, shares float. Now, there's a lot more that goes into it than just that. There's also revenue, then there's EBITDA. Let's go ahead and take a look at Lucid's EBITDA. Revenue, 200 million, trailing 12 months, 600 million. NIO is 8 billion and 2 billion, 2.41 billion, almost 9 billion actually. A lot better, significantly better. Gross profits for Lucid, trailing 12 month, all negative. NIO's is literally all positive. NIO's financial statement is actually really good. Like, I'm just being honest. It's better than Rivian or Lucid, like easily. Operating income, yet again for Lucid, all negative. Trailing 12 month is ridiculous at negative $3 billion. Pre-tax income for Lucid, negative $2.61 billion. Pre-tax for NIO is about the same. So they're not profitable, but they're bringing in more money. Net income, 707 in the negative. Net income, about the same. So they're not doing too well as far as profits, but let's look at EBITDA and cash flow. Lucid, EBITDA, negative 701 million, negative 2.72 billion on the trailing 12 month. Yet we look at NIO and that data is not here. So let me actually find that. Trailing 12 month is 3.1 billion in the negative. So their EBITDA is about the same as Lucid. Okay. Let's go over and look at the balance sheets. Net debt for Lucid, they're sitting on 1.5 billion in cash. NIO is sitting on about the same, but right now, as of the new quarter report, they're pretty close to 4 billion. That is based off of their total cash and total debt. Here it's listed as 1.46 and negative 900, which is almost a billion in cash. I'm not sure if this is accurate though, because their total debt is now down to 1.57 billion. I think this needs to be updated, but I'm not 100% sure. So it's likely that NIO is going to run up quite a bit. I'm thinking that based on market sentiment, that's going to hold it back a little bit. But as we get rate cuts and PMI data again in October, November, as we go into Christmas, near to midterm, like in the next 2 to 3 months, NIO could run up to $8. It's likely that it could do that. So I would be looking at entering NIO now. I would be selling $4.50 puts and $5 puts to get into NIO. This way I could collect some juicy premiums. And if you guys are having trouble understanding the delta and gamma and theta that I'm about to talk about, selling puts, and you're having trouble understanding the market like this, and you're really looking to grow your knowledge, take control of your financial freedom and your time freedom and your location freedom, I would love to help you. You guys can sign up at any time. InvestWithCorey.com, right there on the screen, or the link is in the information box below. I offer full training course, Discord, one-on-one coaching, along with Discord trade alerts. You guys can learn and grow and surround yourself with others that are just like you. All of my students are up 5 to 15% their first month and up 25% their second month. All of my students right now, after their second and third month, are in the positive. Nobody has joined my Discord and been in the negative after 1 month. So if you guys want to take control of your financial freedom, it's a very serious mentorship. I would love to take care of you and help you grow your portfolio. However, spots are limited as I can't take everyone. So I hope to see you soon. So let's go ahead and look at NIO. Click on sell put. We're going to look for a delta of about 30, maybe a little higher. We're going to go out 1 week, maybe 2 weeks actually. $5 put is aggressive at 45 if you want to get in at $24, but a 450 put at 20 delta is very good. We could probably go out 1 month on the $4 puts, or 450 puts, excuse me. Maybe wait for the price to pull back a few pennies. If it falls under $5, you'll probably get filled around $16 or $17, maybe a little higher. And let's say we just sell 10 contracts, which is only about $4,000. This is not a whole lot. This is 1,000 shares. This would generate $170 for the month, get us some premium to get in, or you could just straight buy the stock. If you really want to go aggressive, we could sell the $5 puts, which I'm totally fine with, and probably will sell quite a few of these. And you might be able to get 30, 35 or 36 for these puts, especially if the price drops to 490, then they'll be worth a lot more. This is a good way to generate a nice $300 for the month and giving us an average price of 476. Actually 466. So that's a pretty good price. Selling this a month out, giving us an average price of 466 is really good. I would buy NIO all day at 450 or 460, even $5. As long as it holds at $5, these puts are going to be great, because if you get assigned and the price is below $5, it's still going to be good because your break even's 466. So if you get assigned and the stock price is 490, you're already up like 24 to 34 cents. So if the stock price falls to say 490 and you get assigned, you're already up 24 cents per share, or $24 per every 100 shares. So realistically, I would like to sell this in NIO to stay in the 490 range. This way I get assigned, but I'm way ahead of the game already. That is the power that you possess by selling put. And if you just want to buy the stock, you could do that. I don't recommend selling covered calls on NIO because they're not that juicy. You sell a call going 3 weeks to a month out at say 550, you're only going to collect like $20. And If you sell a covered call going out a month to $5.50, you're only going to collect about $20 to $25. If NIO runs to $8, you're leaving all that profit on the table. And like I said, NIO's a growth stock. I don't like selling covered calls on growth stocks, puts, or buying shares. And the reason for this is they can have huge moves and then you lose out on them. I prefer running a wheel strategy and selling covered calls on investor stocks, which are like Apple, Google, Meta, Netflix, Tesla, Nvidia, AMD, Taiwan Semiconductor. These are investor stocks. Growth stocks like NIO, Palantir, SoFi, and SoundHound, Serve Robotics, Enovix. I don't like running covered calls on them because when they do a volatile run, you miss out on all the money. So don't do that. Not a good idea. Look, guys, NIO is really strong. Now is the time to buy. I'm back on the NIO train. I've just been waiting for a good reason to do so, and that time is now. If you guys want to sell puts, you can do that, or you can buy the shares. Either or, both are great decisions. Take care of yourselves, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.